So Liz, you can take it away whenever you're ready. I would just give everyone about 2 more minutes to log on.
Sounds good. So I think I'm a participant because when I'm trying to share my screen, it says participant can't share.
Let me just make sure you have the permissions. If you guys can, as you come in, just be sure to mute yourselves. Thank you. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can spotlight you. That should be able to do it. There we go. Are you able to screen share now?
It says host disables participant sharing.
Gotcha. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, you should be all set now.
Yes, perfect. Awesome. Okay. Oh, wait. Let's see. I'll refresh it real quick so that we can present. I'm so happy everybody's here. And everybody can see my desktop, so, okay. Okay, so you can hear me, and now can you see the presentation? Checking the chat. Perfect, okay, we are ready to get started. So, hi everybody, I'm Liz Victoria, and today I will be doing a workshop on resume building and LinkedIn profiling. So I wanted to say thank you for attending. I know that you've had a busy weekend of working, coding, programming, networking, and learning, and I'm super thankful that I got asked to speak today. I am super passionate about computer science, and I wanted to also give you a little bit of background about me before we get started. So growing up, I loved gymnastics. I also loved watching the TV show Bones. I'm so sorry that these are popping up here. So I also grew up being good at math, but I wasn't introduced into computer science until late high school and college. So if you feel like you don't have a lot of experience in computer science, and maybe this is your first hackathon ever, or you are just considering computer science, I'm super excited for you because you don't have to be doing things for years and years growing up to be good at them later on. So I'm really excited that all of you are here and that we can learn together. So my education, I went to the University of San Diego, and that's where I got a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics. And then my senior year of college, I worked as a software engineer. So I got an internship right before my senior year of college, and I was working at an aviation company. And so that's when I was trying to figure out if I wanted to go back to school or start working in industry full time after graduating. And ultimately, when I graduated, it was May 2020, and the pandemic just started. And my best option was to go to school. So for me right now, I am about to start my second year as a PhD student in computer science, and I am doing bioinformatics research right now, which has to do with data science and coding. So I'm very happy where I am right now. So today we're going to talk about resumes, which has helped me with both school and job applications and graduate school applications. So what is a resume? It's a brief account of a person's education, qualifications, and previous experiences, typically sent with a job application. So it's kind of like a summary about your skills. It's a summary that can help someone learn who you are and help see if you are qualified for a job. And it can also help if you want to apply for things that aren't jobs, like for graduate school or professional school, if you want to go on to medical school or law school.
Yeah, we're all homies in the dungeon.
It's really important to write a resume.
You know, everything's top secret. We're special agents.
Hey guys, just a reminder, please make sure you're muted throughout the duration of the workshop.
I don't know. Maybe late at night, you know.
There you go. All right, you should be all set.
Thank you. And what is LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is kind of like Facebook, but for professional life. So it's an American business and employment-oriented online service that operates via websites and mobile apps. It launched in 2003, and the platform is mainly used for professional networking, and it also allows job seekers to post their CVs. CV is just another word for resume. And it also allows employers to post jobs so that if someone's out there looking for a job, or there's a company that needs people and wants to fill jobs, they can connect and everyone can be happy and make money. So we love that. And I'm going to break down my resume into 6 parts. And these are the parts that I find to be most important and cover everything that you need to cover about yourself, but also keep things organized. And I'll go into depth on each part. So this is the overview. We have the header, education, professional experience, academic achievements, leadership and extracurricular activities, and then technical skills. So the header is just at the top of your resume, your name and contact information. So here's just an example, which I'll use throughout the presentation, Jane Doe, and then her email address. And then some people put their phone number too, but depending on where you send and post your resume, you don't necessarily need to put your phone number on there. A lot of times, if you make it through a certain stage of applying to a job, they will email you directly, and then you can give them your phone number. So it's whatever you feel comfortable with and the easiest way to reach you. Now for the next section, education, here's where you can put your school, different degrees if you have degrees, and then certifications, and also relevant courses. So some of you are in high school, some of you are in college. And so for me, when I had a substantial resume, which was kind of at the end of college, but even when I was applying as a freshman or a sophomore, you can put the school that you're at, and then you can have the expected graduation date on the right. So if you started in 2020, your expected date would be 2024. And then also I put the major that I was in, so computer science or mathematics, whatever it is, you want to have that there. And then if you feel like your GPA will help you, feel free to put that on. You don't have to put your GPA on your resume. It's a personal choice, and don't feel discouraged if you don't have the highest GPA. Just know that later on, if an employer asks for it, you should know your GPA just so that if they ask for it, you can give it to them. But again, it's personal choice if you want to put that on your resume. And then also I put relevant courses, and this is especially helpful if you haven't graduated yet because the employers might not know which courses you have taken. And so here I just listed mobile app development, data structures and algorithms, which actually I took, I think my freshman year, and that course has a lot of what the interview questions are for computer science jobs. So that one would be a very valuable one to have there, but you can have other courses there. If you're applying for a specific job, then try to cater those courses to what is relevant for that job. So if you know you want to work for a company that does video game design, then you could put a course that's relevant to that, like computer graphics. Now on to a bigger section, which is professional experience. A lot of times jobs want you to have worked before, but it's okay if you haven't. It doesn't mean that you have zero professional experience. So for example, something professional you have done that may not be a job that you were paid to do. If you've taken a computer science course, maybe you haven't taken any course, but you've worked on a website. That's something that is a portfolio piece and something that you can showcase, and it's something that's professional. So you could put that here. It's helpful to use action verbs when you are describing what you do. So here are some examples. For the very first one, I put that I was a computer science research assistant, and that was at a specific university. So I put the professional organization italicized, and then I also have the relevant date that I was doing that position on the right. And then I have works on the applications of neural networks and support vector machines in medical image analysis. And that's really fancy. The next word was implements, but then later on I have designed, I have tested, later on I have initiated. These are really good action verbs that can help someone feel like, wow, they really did these unique skills, and they have a good way of explaining that what you've done is meaningful, and also something that, okay, if they can do this, then they can probably do the job that they are applying for. So I just have a few examples. For me, this is a big section of my resume, but it's okay if you only have 2 or 3 things that are really professional, as long as you describe them well. So it's okay if you have 2 or 3, and maybe you can go more in depth on each. So then the next section, I have academic achievements. And here is where I put awards and publications. So when I was in high school, I actually applied for the NC Witt Collegiate Award, or the NC Witt Aspirations in Computing Award. So in high school, I did achieve a computer science award, and here's where I listed that. And it's helpful to explain why that is so important. So you could say something like, one of 85 students selected for this, or a nationally recognized award, so that they know that, okay, this is a legitimate and special thing that not everybody can do. And then I also have a Social Justice Scholars Award, which was something that my college had. They had an award for students that did volunteer work and impacted their community. And then for other academic achievements, maybe you're on the dean's list and you got an award for your high GPA, or just other awards that you think help you stand out as a person. And then of course I have the date on the right, so that that information is there. It helps me to remember, because sometimes as you get older, you forget what year you have done these things, but it's also helpful for the employer. And then the next section, leadership and extracurricular activities. So here is where I like to answer the question, how have you impacted your community? So I like to put things that aren't necessarily academic in this category. So for example, I participated in a dance group, and so that was listed there. I was the creative director and the secretary, and In this case, I was able to design posters and flyers, and that's something that isn't necessarily in my computer science background, but it's something that I take pride in and something that shows another set of skills that I have. And then I also was the secretary for a computer science club, which is called the Association for Computing Machinery. And so I just, again, did a quick sentence that had an action verb in it, informed members of upcoming computing opportunities like hackathons via email. So it's helpful that the employer can see that, okay, they're involved, they can manage their time, they can get a lot of things done, and that's helpful for them. So then the last thing on this one-page resume is my technical skills. So here's where I just list relevant skills and I cater them to the specific job that I am applying for. So for example, if you're looking for a software engineering job, when you go to apply, it'll often say which specific programming languages you need, which ones they're looking for, different software. And so that's helpful for you because you can see, okay, yeah, I have done that. Or, okay, maybe I haven't done that, but I do have 3 out of 4 of the other skills. So you can get a feel of if you are right for the job. And then you can also adjust your resume to cater to that, because a lot of times, especially at the big companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, when you submit your resume online, they actually have search like algorithms that go through your resume, and they spot those key terms to predetermine if you are qualified. So it's good to include them on your resume, even if they're just listed like this, so that they know that, okay, they did have that relevant skill. And of course, if you're not looking for a software engineering kind of job, you don't have to have programming languages and software, but remember to keep it relevant to the field or the job that you are pursuing. And this is all of it put together. I didn't want to show you this when I first began because it's kind of overwhelming, but when you break it down into smaller sections, it makes a lot more sense. And to me, this is how I can fit the most information, but also have a way to organize it where I can have all of the dates that are important and just get the most out of one sheet of paper. And I know I've seen a lot of resumes that have like people's image, they have a bunch of text and color, and it's okay if your resume doesn't look like this at all, because there's not one right way of doing things, but it's helpful if you know someone who works there and you can ask them like, hey, or even if you don't know anyone that works there yet, it's good to reach out, look up like example resumes for people that work at Google, example resumes for engineers, example resumes for whatever you're looking for, so that you can see, okay, do I need to add extra things or is this okay? For my 4 years in college and then now in graduate school, this format has gotten me where I am. But I know that, some people, if they go into designing content for Instagram, I would understand why their resume would have more color and different design features because it makes sense for the job that they're going to. And again, if this seems overwhelming, it is okay. It's because it is overwhelming, but you can always ask for help. My resume when I started college did not look like that at all. And I went to the Career Center, the Career Development Center at my university, and I worked one-on-one with the people there, and we tweaked everything and they gave me suggestions, and that was super important to me because I did not know how to format a resume at all. And I also didn't want to take the time to. But if you make an appointment and you work together, that can be more encouraging, and you can feel like, okay, it's not so much work if you do it with your friend or if you do it with a professional counselor. And most career counselors at your school, you don't have to pay any money. So it's free. So take advantage of it. So now we're going back to LinkedIn. So what is LinkedIn and how can I use it? So I kind of went on LinkedIn and what they provide when someone searches LinkedIn. Basically, it's a professional network on the internet. You can use it to find the right job or internship, connect and strengthen professional relationships, and learn new skills to succeed in your career. and you can go on LinkedIn from your computer through websites, or you could have the mobile app. And then basically, the LinkedIn profile can help you connect with opportunities by showcasing your unique professional story through experience, skills, and education. And then a few other people use LinkedIn to organize events, join groups, write articles, and post photos and videos, and lead meaningful discussions. So again, it's kind of like Facebook, but for professional life. So then further on this, who should be joining LinkedIn? It's a platform for anyone who is looking to advance their career. So you could be a small business owner, a student, a job seeker. I find that this is especially helpful for tech jobs because again, there's just so many opportunities online. And so it's really helpful to have a LinkedIn to find opportunities, and so that if you're applying to something, these companies can look up your LinkedIn profile and connect your resume or your application to another professional platform. And we're going to do a demo in a few minutes, and it'll all make sense that it kind of looks like Facebook. And then how do you get started on LinkedIn? This session today is kind of short, so I'm going to cover the basics and not try to confuse you too much. But these are a few key steps that they mention. So first is you'll create your profile. So you need, your name, and you need a email address. And then from that, depending on how you want to design your profile, your comfort level with if you want to post photos or not, it's completely up to you. And then once you build your network, this kind of plays a role in connecting to opportunities and building your circle of friends. So on LinkedIn, you connect to someone. So kind of like on Instagram, you would follow someone. On LinkedIn, you connect to people, and these can be other classmates. They could be, people you work for. They could be professors, people that you think would help you grow your career. And coming from someone who's used LinkedIn, I have gotten requests from people that I do not know and that I don't have other connections with. And it's okay to say no to connecting with others. Just like Facebook, you want to be safe with who can see your profile and your information. Now, if someone messages you and they can give you a quick message like, hey, I saw your profile. I'm also at the University of San Diego, or wherever it might be. Then you'll feel less scared to connect with them, especially if I know a lot of professionals are always open to talking to students, and many of the people that you've met over these last few days, you can, if you make a LinkedIn profile, if you connect with them, you can put a little message like, hey, I was at your talk and I really liked how you mentioned this, and could you answer one of my questions? I would love to talk to you. And a lot of these people would really appreciate that, and they can help you with opportunities and any questions that you have. So step one, create your profile. 2, build your network by connecting with others. 3 is finding a job. So that's when you can search on LinkedIn for things that you are curious about, and you can also specify if you want to be an intern, if you want to do part-time, full-time, which locations you want to work in, or if you want to work remote. And that's really helpful because you can filter out a lot of the ones that you might not actually want to do. And then the number 4 step is that you could participate in conversations. So a lot of times Google has its own LinkedIn page. They might post about upcoming innovations or questions. So people participate, they follow those pages, they can start discussions and make a big community. And then number 5 is posting content. So again, this is kind of like a Facebook, but for professional life. So oftentimes people will post just graduated, or they'll post pictures of their degrees. They could post if they volunteered somewhere, made an impact in their community. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up soon because I know that this session is almost over, but yeah, so posting content, again, be mindful of what you post. And again, this is just, and then just real quick, the LinkedIn has a free service and a paid subscription. I'm on the free service, but the paid subscription just has like elevated I guess, elevated tools and features. So don't feel like you need a paid subscription. But again, if you want to try it out, they do like a free trial. So to summarize, on LinkedIn, you can create a profile, build a network, share awards, achievements, and academics by posting. You can look for jobs, and then you can reach out to people and ask for advice. And again, be mindful of what you post, like, and comment, because if someone goes to your profile, they can see what you've written, what you've liked, and what you've commented on. So you want to make sure that that's something that you are proud of and not something that you wish you hadn't posted. So now, real quick, I can show you my LinkedIn profile. So I was asked to participate in this hackathon from my Instagram and my YouTube, which is Liz Victoria. And I keep some of my social media separate from my real name just because there are weirdos that watch YouTube videos, but I know that you are all wonderful women. And so I feel comfortable showing my picture and my name with you. And so here is an example of my profile. You have a banner picture and a profile picture. Right now I'm at the University of Tulsa, so I have a title. This is information that I see, but if you looked at my profile, you wouldn't see this. You would just see my featured media, and this is my resume. And then later activities, so things that I've commented on, things that I've posted, and then other experience. So here's where I've worked, and you can write descriptions of what you've done at your jobs, different awards, education experience, volunteer experience. And so it kind of showcases the things that are important to you. And then also, these are examples of posts that you can make. So here, my undergrad school, University of San Diego, the School of Engineering, they posted about an award and I was featured in this picture. So I reposted it and just gave a sentence. And then you can also post I make videos about professional things, and sometimes they get reposted. So on my YouTube channel, I'll post something if I think it's relevant to career development. And then here's a picture from graduation. So that's just an example of different things you can do. And then that kind of summarizes my whole talk. This is kind of what my YouTube looks like if you want to check it out. It's Liz Victoria. And then here's other ways you can connect with me. If you want to connect with me on email or my Instagram or my TikTok. I'm the most active on Instagram, I would say, Liz_Victoria_YT. And then I love posting on YouTube as well. So that concludes my talk because I want us to have question time. So thank you guys so much. I know I kind of sped through this, but there's a lot to cover, but I'm so excited that you are all here and that you're building your career. So I'll open it up to questions. Okay. Oh yes, okay, so yeah, so I started YouTube and I kind of grew it during the pandemic because it was one of the hobbies that I could do where I wouldn't hurt anybody and I also wouldn't like get a chance of getting COVID either. So it was kind of like my indoor activity. And I love to I have a resume video and I have different like clubs you can join in college, like women in STEM clubs. I have a video on that. I have a link tree which has relevant links. Let me see if I can pull that up. I don't know if it's that you only chat your questions or if you can turn your mic and ask questions.
Yep, if anyone wants to unmute and ask questions, they can go right ahead.
That's a good question from Trisha. So should we include activities or awards that aren't related to the job or position you're applying for? So I guess the bulk of your resume should be relevant to showing that you are definitely qualified for what you're applying for. However, I like to show a little bit of my personality that isn't just work. So I put on my resume gymnastics coach, even though I do not I never intend on applying to be a gymnastics coach, but that was something that I thought like made me unique. So I kept it on there. So it's up to you. I would say just try to keep maybe like 80% of your resume relevant to your major and your career path. The next question is, can the resume be slightly longer than a page? I guess from my experience and my career counselor, what they've told me is it should be 1 page. I guess if you need more than 1 page, just try to see if you can edit it down to the absolute essentials. And if you can't, then I would ask someone, whoever's accepting your resume, I would ask them like, hey, is it okay if it's more than a page? A lot of times they say that, you know, they don't really spend every second on every line. So they may not even read the entirety of your resume. So what they do read should be really high quality. Is there a website that we can find templates that are good? Yeah, so I mean, for my school, when I went to, so I had the College of Engineering at the University of San Diego. So they actually had a booklet that had an example mechanical engineer resume. It had an example software engineer resume, electrical engineer resume. So you can go to your school, and if you're not in a school that has that, I would Google like example whatever major resumes and see if those are good. I don't know if I have a specific website though. Okay, thanks for subscribing. Do you personally leave your phone number out in a resume? So that's a great question. So before LinkedIn, I kept my phone number on my resume. And then I added my resume to LinkedIn, and I kind of realized that while some people on LinkedIn do want to help me find jobs, I thought it was just a bit safer just to keep it out just in case, because at the end of the day, employers will email you, and if it's legitimate, you'll be able to tell, and they can say, okay, actually, can we have a phone call? And then you'll be able to email your phone number, and it's not a problem. So yeah, so it's a personal choice, but I used to keep my phone number on, but now with the power of the internet and email, I just have my email. These are great questions. Is it all right to not have any awards? Yes, okay. I mean, it's hard to get awards, so it's okay if you don't have any related to the field that you're in or the computer science, like, or whatever major you're in. I know for example, with the professional experience category, if you don't have a job, maybe you've done research with a professor, or maybe you've worked as a grader for a professor. And so your time is, you know, packed, like you're doing a lot of activities. So you might not always get to apply to awards. And so, yeah, so it's okay if you don't have any awards, but also if you look up like Women in STEM awards, I feel like there's a good chance that many of you could apply and then also win these awards. So don't be afraid to look for things if you can. I mean, I'll type in the NC WIT award. The NC WIT stands for the National Center for Women and Information Technology. And it's a community of computer science people and women that love to make an impact on the community. And they have a lot of awards that they give out. So I would suggest maybe trying to look that up, or just doing a Google search for other things you can apply to. Yeah, okay, there's more. There's a form if you wanna submit for attendance. I think they might send you free things, so fill out that form. Thank you guys so much for the amazing questions. Okay, would it be unprofessional to include a quote to describe yourself? If this makes sense, but I had a song lyric of mine. Oh, that's an interesting question. Honestly, so I mean, quote, that's a good point. On LinkedIn profiles, I have seen some people use like a sentence to describe them, or a slogan. And even like on my YouTube, I have like a slogan. On my Instagram, I have like a little thing helping you build your tech career. So I don't think it would be unprofessional, as long as it's something that is like with good taste. I think song lyric could be okay, as long as it's not like super out there. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, of course.
All right, awesome. So I just want to say thank you, Liz, for coming out and for being a great speaker for us today. We really appreciated your words, and we thank you for spending some time with us. Everybody, just make sure you get your attendance in, and from now, you guys, if you have submitted, you're all good to go. Thank you for coming. Just a reminder for everybody, opening ceremony will be starting at 12 p.m. PST. So we can't wait to see you guys there. We'll be announcing all of our winners. And yeah, that'll be it for today. Bye, everybody.
I wanted to ask, when will the winners be announced?
Winners will be announced at the closing ceremony, which will begin at 12 p.m. PST.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. If anyone else has any questions, I'll be leaving the Zoom open, so feel free to just shout them out or type them in the chat.